What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Just when we thought this Sheryl Swoopes drama was gonna blow over, things just got so much messier. Last week, I made an entire video about this drama surrounding WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes and how she has been a certified Caitlin Clark hater for about a year now. So if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure that you check it out first so that you can get the full backstory. But now, you guys, so much more has unfolded, and it's so insane. Like we've talked about, Sheryl Swoopes is a big name in WNBA media. She has her own podcast where she talks about all things WNBA except Caitlin Clark. And she also does commentary for the Dallas Wings games. And she has pretty much covered every single home game for the Dallas Wings except this last game versus the Fever. A lot of people had been speculating if Sheryl Swoopes was going to cover this game because up until now she has not been able to say anything nice about Caitlin Clark, nor has she been able to even speak her name. So for this specific game against the Fever, they replaced her with another WNBA legend, Nancy Lieberman. The Fever came up with a big win that night. Caitlin Clark had 28 points, 5 3-pointers, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds, and Kelsey Mitchell also had an insane game, 36 points, 5 threes, also 6 rebounds and 3 assists. This duo is the best backcourt in the WNBA. I need to make an entire video on that because these two are absolutely lighting it up. But anyway, during that broadcast, Nancy Lieberman had so many complimentary things to say about Caitlin Clark, and there's even a clip that's been going around social media where Caitlin Clark is at the free throw line, and Nancy just talks about how Caitlin Clark should be celebrated, not tolerated. The hate needs to stop. She has done incredible things for the WNBA. She is going to make all of these women multimillionaires, and all of us should be respecting and celebrating her game. That clip was specifically going viral, one, because Nancy Lieberman took over the broadcast where Sheryl Swoopes would normally be there. And secondly, some people thought that maybe that was some shade toward Sheryl Swoopes just because she was being so complimentary. I'm gonna take a step back here because I worked with Nancy this entire summer at the Big Three. She has also been a guest on Courtside Club. If you haven't seen her episode, make sure that you check it out. And we also both went to Old Dominion and played basketball there. Nancy was somebody that I looked up to as a kid, part of the reason that I chose to play basketball at ODU. You guys, Nancy is nothing but kind, welcoming. She's one of the kindest women in this industry. She welcomed me with open arms when I was going to the Big Three. She was super helpful. She's so knowledgeable about basketball. She is respected by all. She's tough, but she's also fair. And she is very quick to give people who deserve their flowers. She will give them their flowers. She is so grateful. So many times on the Big Three broadcast, she would go out of her way to thank the people behind the scenes that no one ever sees. She would thank our travel department, thank production, thank people live on television. Like, that is who Nancy is. When Nancy gets a chance to praise someone else and elevate them, she does it. And that's what she was doing here with Caitlin. I would bet all the money in the world by her praising Caitlin was not a jab at anyone else. So the fans online and the people who are riding behind Sheryl Swoopes and they think anybody who's praising Caitlin is throwing jabs at Sheryl Swoopes, that's just not the way it is. So anyway, Nancy covered this game. Because of that, it set the wheels in motion more because a lot of people were like, did Sheryl Swoopes get fired? They took her off this game, and a lot of people were also happy about that because we don't know what her commentary would have been like with the Fever on the court. So of course there were many tweets going back and forth. Sheryl Swoopes has been very active on Twitter, responding to her haters and calling out different people. And she decided to screenshot text messages between her and Caitlin from back in February. She said, "Hey Caitlin, I wanted to personally reach out to you and say I made a mistake on what year this is for you. COVID year has me all confused, LOL. I have nothing but respect for you and your game and appreciate your skill. Congrats on everything you have accomplished thus far. Be blessed." Caitlin replied, "No worries at all. I really appreciate you reaching out and there's no hard feelings. I appreciate all you have done for women's basketball and for inspiring girls like me and building the foundation and platform we have today." And then Sheryl said, "You're very welcome. I really appreciate you and your game. You are taking it to a whole new level. level. Keep being great. Have a blessed night. Actually, I think now that I'm looking closer, I think that this is on Instagram. I don't think that they're actually on a text thread together. So first of all, I think it's bold to screenshot and release messages, especially when none of this drama actually has to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has stayed completely out of it. She's literally just playing basketball right now, and all of the drama around the WNBA seems to be with her at the focal point, yet she's paying attention to none of it, and I commend her for that, and that's literally what she needs to continue to do. And through all of this, like, she just needs to stay focused and keep going forward. I think it's weird to show Caitlin's response, even though it makes Caitlin look really good. She was like, no worries, not a big deal. And then once again, thanked Sheryl Swoopes. Caitlin Clark has publicly given Sheryl Swoopes her flowers when she was on SNL. It makes Sheryl Swoopes look worse, however, because since February, she has not been complimentary. She has not spoken about Caitlin Clark. She refuses to just come out and say, I have no issues with Caitlin Clark. I think she's amazing. I just want to focus on other players. She has done none of that. All she has done is respond to haters and get in fights with Stephen A. Smith, which is what we're getting to now. This is such a reality show. Like, I can't even believe we're making a video about this. So like we talked about again in my previous video, Stephen A. Smith has called out Sheryl Swoopes, basically saying, like, you have to do better. If you're working in media, you at least have to acknowledge Caitlin Clark. She is the story. She is the face of the league. What you're doing is furthering the narrative that there are haters out there who just want to see the downfall of Caitlin Clark. You being at the forefront of that, you being a WNBA legend, basically saying, like, it's just not a good look, Sheryl Swoopes, you need to do better. So he called her out on her show. Stephen A. Smith is, no stranger to controversy and beef with other people in the media and athletes. Being the media powerhouse that he is, he had Nancy Lieberman on his show yesterday, and he essentially asked her, like, hey, Sheryl Swoopes normally does this broadcast, they put you in, and here is what Nancy had to say. So Nancy here is talking about her current relationship with Sheryl Swoopes.
Caitlin was, 25 years old. She was, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior. Right. She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were illegitimate. And I got off the treadmill and I called her as a friend. And I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody. But you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you might like Boston. I might like the Yankees. It's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone. And I was like, Cheryl, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four. She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life. I'd rather have her in it.
So Sheryl Swoopes, of course, saw this clip of what Nancy said, and this is what she had to say. She said, now here you go. I get what you're trying to do with your boy Stephen A. Smith, but it ain't working. You know good and well what happened, and ditto. My life is good without you too, and him. You want to go there? It's so defensive and weird. At this point with Sheryl Swoopes, I wish that she would just get off Twitter because she is digging herself in a deeper hole. And at this point, it looks so unprofessional. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if she wasn't a WNBA legend, she would be fired by now. Like, if somebody like me was doing this, who didn't have the kind of stardom and notoriety that she does, I would have been kicked by now. If I refused to talk about a player, but I was so close with the WNBA and I'm beefing with literally everyone online, like, I would have been taken off the broadcast. She's getting a pass right now, but it looks very unprofessional. It's just not good for business. It's not a good look. I've said it before. One of the top comments here says, bro, put down your pride and just embrace the next generation. Your pettiness only makes you look bad. Someone else said, you're going out so sad, man. And with Nancy's reply, and maybe since I know Nancy personally, like, she is so honest and real. I've sat next to Nancy. We did sideline reporting together. I've sat next to her through an entire game. She has nothing negative to say about anyone. She's not the type to gossip. She's not gonna go on all of these shows and do her rounds and make it this whole, like, Nancy doesn't want to beef with anyone. She has a family at home. She loves her job. She loves basketball. She loves the WNBA. She's so excited to see the sport grow. And so Sheryl taking this so personally, Nancy was saying, yes, I got put on the broadcast. I was so grateful to be there. If you listen to earlier on in the episode, she talks about how grateful she was to be able to call that game. And she said, hey, this is what my relationship is like with Sheryl Swoopes, and this is why. She never once said anything bad. She also said that she would love if Sheryl Swoopes continued to be in her life. But Sheryl Swoopes kind of responded with, again, like something that feels very negative. All of this makes me wonder if the reason the WNBA hasn't been able to grow over the years is because of the people within the WNBA itself. I've said on other shows that I feel like the WNBA is too old school in the way that they play, in the way that they coach, in the way that they manage, in the way that they deal with fans. We might need a bit of an overhaul to make space for these incredible players coming in and change the mindset of how we market the WNBA, how we think about the WNBA, what plays we draw up. If you look at what the Fever are doing right now, the reason they're winning games is they're playing a new school style of basketball. They're not playing the half court set, stop, run a play, 2 out, 2 down, 3 out, boring basketball. The Fever aren't doing that. There's a reason that so many people love to watch the Fever play. They're playing a Golden State Warriors type of basketball, a run and gun. It's literally the Iowa team with better players, and it's exciting basketball to watch. Christy Sides was able to make that adjustment and let these women do what they're doing, and that's what's winning games. So I feel like that's a small example of something where the WNBA seems to be in the Stone Ages in a lot of areas. With all of this newfound fame, eyeballs, viewership being up 80%, they need to change, and they need to change quickly. So I do hope that Sheryl Swoopes finds it in her heart to change. I don't want this to be what Sheryl Swoopes is remembered as. We want to remember Sheryl Swoopes as WNBA legend. I believe she has 3 titles and 3 MVPs. She is somebody who paved the way. It's sad. I hope this is the last video I have to make about this, but you guys let me know what you think. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up and click that little subscribe button because we upload new videos every single week. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Uyana.